guess a lot of my artwork is based on my family. Wasn't intentionally like that, but prior to becoming a mum, it was on the environment. I was quite heavily involved in different environmental campaigns over the years, but when my second daughter came along with Down syndrome, a lot of my advocacy got transferred over to disability as well as the environment. So this specific piece is about transitioning from her being a baby into an adolescent. And when she was born, she was just like so beautiful, but felt really, really vulnerable, and that kind of balance between being strong for her, but being really like, oh my God, what I do, because I had to learn so much. And there was a few scary moments in that as well, where I thought that we might lose her. So a lot of those experiences kind of shaped the way that I parent and the way that I respond to other things that happen in life. So now she's turning 12 and she can talk really well, pretty well, and she's becoming a little teenager, and the difficulties and challenges that we had when she was a baby are now quite different, and so there's a lot of acceptance. Deirdre Robb gave me some really good assistance with this. Mandra's got, I find, a really inclusive arts community, especially contemporary arts-based Mandra. I had a couple of residencies there, and they're very welcoming of my daughter and the chaos that we bring, and make us feel really welcome, because not all spaces you feel like that, because you disturb the peace, and some sounds can be jolting to some people, and all of that. So anyway, Deirdre, I was initially going to do a blanket because it's like wrap up, and I had my grandma's blanket, which I was going to use the base from, and then Deirdre went, oh, it kind of just feels like, like this, and then because I do weaving as well, she's like, why don't you make a woven bassinet and then place like these little 700 little baby faces, because 1 in 700 is the statistics of pregnancies with Down syndrome. There's not so many people with Down syndrome anymore, because I think 95% don't make it through the pre-screening tests that are available now. So that felt really appropriate, because there's this kind of like letting go, but not quite, she's not, and we've been dealing with a few other things like the NDIS cutting all of our core supports, and things like looking at wills, like what will happen to her when I go, and all these really complex things that I've never really paired with the thought of parenting. So this work has been processing that. Some of the bits in there, a white clay. We had a rabbit over in northern New South Wales, and we ended up having to relocate back here 7 years ago. I did live in this area up until I was 15, and we couldn't bring our rabbit with us because you can't bring rabbits across the Nullarbor, so we left it there, but we bought some of its fur with us, and I've been carrying it in this gold sphere container all this time, and then it kind of finally found its home in this as well. So I guess that's my rambling explanation. There's a lot more in that, but without oversharing, too much, that's pretty much the summary. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I just also wanted to mention, initially this idea was going to be in a wearable arts garment, and there's a supermodel called Madeline Stewart, and I've been following her. We're a big fan of her. She's from Queensland, and we were wanting her to wear the garment, and then COVID happened, and so that's another thing that happens quite a lot in my art practice is you think something's going to happen and you get excited about it, and then something happens where it can't happen, but I've learned just to shelf things and not get upset about it. It will find its own way in a different way later. So being patient and not being attached to things when they don't work out. So yeah, that's it. Thanks.